Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Dark Reaction. This is Hard Live, my name is Matt. Another Dark Friday, let's go. So I believe this is episode 6, and previous episode, what was it? Yeah, in that episode we got to see Jonas interacting with Jonas. So like the young teenager version of Jonas interacting with the old version of Jonas, which is Adam, now we know. They interacted across the entire episode. We actually got to learn a little bit of Adam's philosophy. They actually showed, like... Actually, I don't think I picked up on this when I watched it, but now that I think about it, I picked it up during the editing. And it was the fact that we got to see multiple versions of what the time machine would be. Like, every single version, because we've seen many, actually, which I didn't really realize, but it's like, we had like the electric chair thing, we have the tunnel and the caves, we have the actual time machine, which is the box, like there's some, and like the orb thing that they walk into in order to teleport somewhere, which is what Jonas did at the end of that episode as well, because Adam made his own like orb of like dark matter or whatever that Jonas walked into. He walked into it in like episode 2 or whatever, and then he traveled to 1921, and now he has another one in 1921, which, according to Adam at least, should take you to whatever you want it to take you. Okay? And Jonas talked to himself, and they both realized, well, not realized, but they both came to the conclusion that it would be the best way to go to prevent everything from happening would be to the day before Michael and Conwell commit suicide. We know that is Michael now. So the day before Michael commits suicide. And immediately as I was watching it, I was like, you're gonna cause him to kill himself, essentially. Or whatever. Like, I don't know if he actually died. Maybe, I mean, circumstances and everything surrounding his death are like still like weird and dubious, but like whatever, let's say that he's dead. So Jonas walked into the orb at the very end, and I want to say Adam was crying as he saw younger Jonas walk into the orb, and that could mean a couple things, right? Because it's super vague, but it's like the way I took it was like Adam knows that whatever younger Jonas is gonna have to deal with after he walks into that orb is gonna be really fucked up, and he's crying because he already has experienced it. The thing is that if that is the case, right, then that means that younger Jonas already failed, because older Jonas knows that he fails because he knows everything that's going to happen to him, which makes a perfect loop, which means that things cannot be changed, which means that Adam was lying to younger Jonas. That's the route I'm going myself, but I'm not sure what's exactly going to happen. Adam did say something like every loop is built on the previous one, something like that. I'm not sure if that is literal or not, because like the rules of time in this universe seem to be something, and then characters say something different, and I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening. That's how I feel about this. So it really is one of those things where I just have to like keep going, and then I'll just see what the show has in store for me. We saw Ulrich in 87 escape out of the mental facility and go after Mikkel, because of course they reunited. Mikkel identified him as Ulrich. They had like a nice little moment, but then Ines Conwell went back to her house because she heard of Ulrich escaping. She found that Mikkel wasn't there. She called Egon Tideman, which is like the one person that would know where they were going, which is the caves. So they found the empty caves, they stopped them, and Ulrich was taken away, and he was like, you son of a bitch, you ruin this every time. It's been you, it's always been you, it's all your fault. Next time I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's what he said to Egon Tideman. And speaking of Egon Tideman and death, I expect him to die this episode. Because every episode we've had this season, has been like a day, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think every episode has been one day. Because we are doing this stretch in between, like, until the 27th of June, right? We started on like the 21 or like the 22, and then we're going to the 27. And here we are in episode 6, and I believe this should be... This is either 25 or 26. And I remember that the previous episode, we saw that in the newspaper that Claudia took, it said that Egon was going to die tomorrow, essentially. Which is why she went to his house and went like, hey, do you want to move with us or whatever? Which actually might trigger his death. But we'll see. So yeah, the fact that Egon has one day to leave, to me, means that he's just gonna die here. So there we go. The pacing of the episode could be different, though, because we might follow Jonas in whatever the fuck he's doing. So I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. So I think that's it. Oh yeah. Charlotte met Noah. We got confirmation that Noah was Charlotte's dad. That might have been one episode ago, like 2 episodes ago, or may not. I don't remember. But Noah is Charlotte's dad. That is hard confirmed. Charlotte's mom is gone. They don't know. Nobody knows where it is. Noah was looking for Charlotte and finally found her. And then he was like, Adam knew this entire time and he never told me. And then he essentially said, like, declare, like, oh yeah, I'm taking Adam down. Like, fuck that old man. So Noah's going rogue. We kind of knew that, but he's definitely going rogue now. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good to start. So yeah, let's just cut to the chase. So yeah, Dark season 2 episode 6. I see the title right here. It's called An Endless Cycle. So cycling is gonna happen. So alright, get ready everyone. So Dark season 2 episode 6. Let's go.
Will we ever be able to know the origin of it all?
I like that. I do want to say though, that song has like a... I've been listening to that song, by the way, because it's a really good song. Shout out to the show for introducing me to it. But that song has like a 3 minutes start.
Good morning.
Alright, so this was before. This is the day before. So this is good. I get to see Mike and Congo.
Don't forget, today's Katharina and Ulrich's party. Don't get back too late again, okay?
Sure.
Are you sure you don't want to come with?
Miguel knows. Yeah. Look at these children having fun. Oh, he's there. Oh my god, it's gonna be a Back to the Future 2 situation. Mother and Marver, 33 years old, Surfer 2
Are you coming later?
Oh, that's for him! They're still searching what he did 33 years ago. I like that we get to see this. Not necessarily this Jonas-Martha interaction, but like, we get to see the gang hanging out, like the loser crew hanging out.
I wonder if my parents are actually happy together.
Okay, here we go. Here comes the drama. I do like that we get to see this because it's like, Jonas keeps saying that he wants things to go back to the way they were. And this is actually a taste of what things were before everything went to shit. Wait.
What's that?
That's a coin and the cord. So this is the beginning of the coin, maybe.
Don't ask.
What journey does the coin take, is what I want to know.
Weren't you going to the lake? Martha and Magnus left a while ago.
Yeah, you're gonna have to lie here. What are you saying?
Ultimate fist bump?
Don't touch that little pest. He's got rubella.
Okay.
Where's your bike?
So how does this feel? Things before everything went to shit? That's gonna be pretty bad, okay. Oh, it's Francisca, right? It is? Alright, sure. Okay, it's been 0 days since we've seen boobs in this show. Okay, so I guess that's the moment when she got a crush on him.
Wouldn't you love to know whatever was coming next?
I mean, every conversation all of these characters have is like hinting at the fucking fucked up shit that goes on in the show thematically. Like every time. It's kind of funny.
I sometimes get this feeling like something's happening. You know?
You know what? I think I do remember in the first episode, Martha said, like, I feel like I just had a deja vu or something like that. Right?
We gave Grandma Ines a tablet for her birthday. Now I'm supposed to teach her how to use it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I'll be there later.
Why do you have a raincoat with you?
Because it's supposed to rain later.
We do have a Back to the Future 2 situation. Oh, is he gonna go talk to her? Why do you put on the raincoat if it's not raining yet? Also, why do you look so goddamn depressed? Also, why is your hair longer? Hey.
Weren't you leaving?
You and I are perfect for each other. Never believe anything else.
So you were the one that told her that, when then she told you that when you didn't know. I mean, she's your aunt, but you do you, dude. I guess this is why Adam gave him the raincoat. This is fucked. Like, of course, Michael is gonna is freaking the fuck out. Of course he
Use
would.
your bathroom.
Um.
Hannah. Hello?
Oh, even Hannah had that moment. It's weird because like everyone used to be okay with each other. It's always this one song.
Was going to be a garden party, but this ended up seeming much cozier. Have tiramisu for later. Oh, this is my favorite song. I have to dance.
The first song wasn't even done yet. Look at all these people actually hanging out.
Yes, all here.
So I guess Ulrich and Katharina were still like some kind of version of their younger selves. Like they're still like pretty loud and party goers. Or party hosters, I guess. I think Jonas is gonna cause him to commit suicide. I already said it, but like he's gonna like mention like it has to be today, the day before you.
Jonas? I thought I heard you come in. Aren't you supposed to be at the Nielsen's?
Giving a big hug.
Did anything happen?
Yes, a lot.
Hey. I know, Dad.
What do you know?
Everything.
I know everything.
Yes.
What?
What was gonna happen in like a couple months. Who you are. The
Ultimate fist bump.
ultimate fist. Oh my god.
What?
I know that your real name is Mikkel Nielsen, Dad. It's okay.
So sorry.
Ah, this scene just got like twice as emotional. He was like, "I'm sorry," and it's like, it's okay. Okay, Rick Astley, let's go. She was a good mom.
So you're from the future then?
Yeah, okay.
And why are you here now?
Yeah, that's the problem. You can't
Ask
tell
you
him.
for something.
Yeah, okay. Don't tell him.
What?
Don't do it.
Ha! Immediately told him. You're gonna cause it, motherfucker.
I chose to stay home. Something was different, though. I should have known something was wrong.
Jonas, I have no idea what you're
Don't
talking
lie to
about.
me, okay?
You're causing it!
I know you're going to hang yourself in your studio. Have you written the letter yet?
What letter?
The letter you wrote to me. Not to me, my younger self. The one marked do not open before November 4th.
But he's gonna do it because you told him to! He's gonna do...
I'm here so that you don't do it. It's intertwined. Like an endless loop. But when you kill yourself, that's where it begins.
He wasn't gonna do it. He didn't even think about it. I mean, he's miserable, but he probably never even thought about it. Until right now when you confirmed that that happened.
Promise me you won't do it. Papa, you have to promise that. Please. Promise.
Yeah, the coin and the fucking cord.
I put it on a string.
Because then it has more meaning when older Jonas puts the coin in her bathroom.
I thought about what you said at the lake today.
Yeah, he has no memory of this. I mean, is Jonas's plan to cause everything or to stop everything from happening?
The night that you disappeared,
Okay.
you were here and then you were just gone.
He
I didn't find it.
he just woke up.
Someone took me there.
Oh, okay.
Who?
You?
You.
So this is the journey older Jonas is gonna have to go
That was
through.
a strange sound.
Well, this Jonas we have right now, but not this Jonas on screen. The one that is our current main character in 2020.
We were all sure someone had to be there.
And of course Mikkel followed Jonas, but he didn't follow the right Jonas. He followed the Jonas that made it happen. And then you were there again, and you told me to go into the
We
cave.
were back again.
Quick. Let's go.
You said we had to go into the cave. You took me all the way back to the door and through the tunnel.
So that's what you're gonna have to
I was
do.
so scared. But you held my hand. And you said we had to stay there all night.
This means that this Jonas is gonna have to stay here for a
Everything
couple
would be
months.
all right in the morning. And when I woke up, you were gone. After a while, it all started to fade away.
Yeah,
It became unreal, like a dream.
yeah. After 33 years would do that. Under drugs from your weird mom.
I never did that.
But you're gonna have to.
Maybe you're not here to stop me,
You're here to cause
but
it.
rather to show me what I have to do.
Dumbass.
Maybe you only show me the letter so that I'm aware what's in it, so that I can go and you live on.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
That's literally what happens though.
If you don't kill yourself, none of this will happen.
But if none of this happens,
You're not born.
you won't be born.
Exactly. And he's gonna protect you because he's your dad.
I'm just a tiny section of a huge tumor that is much bigger.
That is also true.
Someone said that to me already.
Who?
I did.
Fuck you.
I have waited for this moment for a very long time.
Are you with Adam?
No.
There are two sides out there.
Adam and
He's the
Claudia.
darkness. I don't follow him. I follow the light.
Every single one of you motherfuckers say the same.
He led you back here to ensure everything happens exactly the same way it always has.
No, that's not right. Adam wants this too.
No, he does not. He doesn't want to fix things. He wants to destroy them forever. You have to fight yourself. Fight Adam.
But if I don't exist, if I'm never born, then how could Adam ever come?
I have seen the world without you. Trust me. It's not what you're expecting.
What the fuck does that mean?
In our lives, when we must understand that the decisions we make influence more than just our own fates. It's not just about you and Mikkel. It's about everyone. We all have to make sacrifices. Your father has to make sacrifices too.
It's okay.
I've seen what I've seen what the world without you would be like, and it's not what you would expect. What the fuck does that? Can Claudia do parallel universe jumps? Because if that's the case, then everything just everything throw everything out the window, right?
Is this the apocalypse then?
No, that's 7 months from now, give or take. No, actually, that's exactly like 1 year and a week away from now.
It's a bit disappointing.
I thought it would be louder than this.
This is the exact same conversation you had in season 1, isn't it?
If the world ended tomorrow and everything started over,
What's to say it's not gonna happen? Good,
what
good.
would you wish for?
A world without Wyndon.
The exact same conversation. We got to see like a hint of normality from all of us, and then it's like immediately fuck. What I want to know is how does Martha go to dating Bartosz after this? Jonas, you dumb bitch, you caused it. Which is exactly what I said was gonna happen, because this is what always happens. Is this when he does that, or... Here we go. This is how the show started. He looks at the picture. Yeah.
Dear Jonas, by the time you read this, everything will have already happened, irrevocably. It can't be changed anymore. I would have liked to explain things to you sooner, but I hope once you understand how everything is connected, you will understand my decision.
So the thing I'm thinking about, I keep thinking about, is Mike and Conway showing up when Mikkel disappeared. Is that just symbolic, or...
Adam, you could have told him what his function is in all of this.
Okay, no, it's just members of the
What
crew.
journey you really sent him on.
Okay, members of the church.
Not long before the last
We keep
cycle.
talking about the last cycle! What the fuck does that mean, bitch? I'm gonna shank you. Tell me. Who are you two?
Magnus, you all have to make sacrifices.
Okay, that came out of nowhere. Is that it? That is it. Okay. Well, that came out of fucking nowhere. That came out of nowhere. That is an end of episode stinger. That is an end of episode stinger. It's not even a good stinger. It's just a stinger. Okay. Sure. Okay, we need to talk about that episode. Yeah. Okay, so a couple things. So the thing that is the previous episode happened because it... Come on now. Here's the thing. I said this like 5 times by now, but the show keeps making me talk about it because it happens like every episode now. And it's the fact that whenever you are trying to stop something from happening with time travel, you are causing it to happen. Every time. Like literally every time. That's how this entire genre goes. That's how every single story like this goes. So the fact that Jonas went in fully without any information and decided, you know what? I'm gonna stop this. It's like, no, bitch, you're causing it. Like 100% you're causing it. Like he went and said like, don't do it. And he's like, what? And he's like, don't fucking kill yourself. Like, I know you're thinking about doing it. I know, have you wrote the letter yet? The letter that you left me. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then he showed him the letter, and it's like, oh, I gotta kill myself. And then he's like, no, you don't have to. And it's like, no, I have to. Because if you stop this from happening, then you're not born. And you're my son, so I'm gonna protect you. And it's like, of course, Jonas, like, how dumb Jonas is. Like, I understand that, okay. So I'm approaching a lot of this from the point of view of someone that has seen many of these stories and understand how these concepts work. And it's like, of course, that I immediately when Adam told him, okay, we're going there, you gotta stop it. So this doesn't happen, we're not born, but Martha will be safe. I'm like, you're full of shit. You're causing it, motherfucker. You're causing it. The moment that you try to stop the main thing from happening, you're actually causing it every time. And it's like, okay, we need to move on from that. Okay, I'm actually like doing like a rewind on the entire episode to see what can I talk about. The intro was pretty dope when we saw the intro of like a lot of scenes from the entire first 2 seasons. Just rewinded right until the beginning when Michael commits suicide. Okay. I do like that this entire episode was set up in, I believe, the 20th of June of 2019. Because we got to see a glimpse into what would be the normal lives of everyone in this town before shit went wrong. Because, like, that's the thing. It's like, the first episode, it's like, alright, Mike and Conwell commit suicide. Moving on, and then it's like, alright, so this is the world we live in. And we see a lot of it through Jonas's eyes. And Jonas is fucking crazy and depressed because Mike and Conwell commit suicide, you know? And then after episode 1, Mikkel disappears and everything goes to shit and everything is fucked, everything is wrong. So it's like we never actually got to see this town being normal for once. Which is why the joke that I had kept going of like, this town is fucked up. Why are all these people so fucked up? What is wrong with them? Like that is always the joke that I've been making since I started watching the show. And it's always applied. But in this episode we actually got to see that this town is not fucked up 24/7, only like 27. You know, like a couple hours a day. They party together, they hang out, like they knew each other, they kind of talk, gossip, and it's like, yeah, like Magnus and Bartosz and Jonas and Martha, they all went and hung out together and just did things, and it's like, okay. That's pretty good. It's pretty fun. So, okay. Jonas. So, the Jonas that we've been following this season. The Jonas from... Okay. So, let's say future Jonas and past Jonas. Just for the simplicity of this review, I'm not going to talk at all about, like, adult Jonas, because it's not relevant this episode. And if I'm going to talk about Ada, I'm going to refer to him as Adam. But future Jonas arrives to 2019. So I guess Adam did not lie about the way that orb worked, because it did work the way he wanted it to work. He just thought about a place and he went there, and it's like, got it. That's pretty good. It's like telepathic or some shit. So future Jonas, we had like a Back to the Future thing this episode, which was pretty good, because so my favorite part about Back to the Future 2... Dude, how many times have I talked about Back to the Future when watching this show? I don't know, but I'm going to keep doing it. Because I love those movies. But Back to the Future 2 is probably the weakest one of the 3. But the one thing that Back to the Future did a lot did really well is we saw Marty McFly interact with Back to the Future 1 happening in the background of him and his struggle with the almanac and stuff. So if you've never seen Back to the Future 2, there is like an entire third of the movie that happens like to the side of Back to the Future 1. And we get to see this entire night of Back to the Future 1, but in the background. And we get to see the main character in the background doing some shit, and the main character in the forefront to the side of the main event doing other shit. And he's trying not to interfere with the events of the first movie that is happening like right next to him. And we got to see that in this episode where we have future Jonas in the exact same time as his past self is in. 1 year younger. So we get to see younger Jonas and future Jonas. And I guess the place we get to see that the closest to the same interaction is with Martha, when younger Jonas, past Jonas, is just hanging out with her, and he's like, "Oh man, I gotta go and like help my grandma learn how to use a tablet." And then future Jonas shows up, and Martha is like, "Hey, I thought you were leaving," and it's like he's like really weird, and he essentially just like completely just goes like, "Martha, I love you. We're perfect for each other." They have a moment, they kiss, and then he leaves, which begins Martha's feelings for the past version of him. That then the entire relationship starts that night, as well as the fucking coin and the cord, because future Jonas influenced Martha into starting it with past Jonas. Sure. But like future Jonas was like looking at past Jonas as things were happening, and then it's like it's a whole thing. It's great. I love seeing just the same character, like the normal version and the future version in the same spot, and the future version is trying not to interfere with the past version. You know, that's always really fun. Immediately afterwards, future Jonas, goes to his own house, because past Jonas was at Inez's house, and then he went to the party with Hannah. All right, but future Jonas went to his own house where Michael Conwell is alone, and he went to him, and of course Michael doesn't know what the fuck he's doing here, and then he's like, he just goes and gives him a big hug, and then he's like, "I come from the future. I know that you're Mikkel." And Michael Conwell has like a panic attack. Let's talk about Michael Conwell for a bit, about his character. Because we have never seen the character of Michael Conwell ever. Because we only saw him when he kills himself. And then we saw him through the note. Like, we heard what he said in the note that he left for Jonas, but even that note was fake because he didn't think about it. He just copied it, essentially. So it's even one of those things where it's like, well, that wasn't even him talking, I would say. Those weren't his words. But we do get to see him, and he seemed to be a pretty chill dad. He seemed to be pretty chill, pretty relaxed, and like a pretty good guy. But the thing is that he sees Mikkel. He sees the yellow jacket. He hears about Ulrich and Katharina's like party or anniversary or whatever. And he freaks the fuck out. Because of course he does. Like, he just has a moment where it's like, and it's like, of course, this is like super traumatic for him. It must be. So then when future Jonas gets to him and tells him all this stuff, he again has like a panic attack almost. And he actually apologizes. He's like, "I'm sorry." And then Jonas is like, "Okay," and they get a big hug again, and it's like very emotional. That's really good. I really like that, actually. Because it's not only like you meeting your dead dad, you're also meeting your dead dad, and also you being finally like talking to each other. Like, well, both of you know the entire truth, so you can just freely talk about it. And it's like, it's not only your dead dad; it's like your lost friend at that point too, right? Because Mikkel was Jonas's friend; they had like an ultimate fist bump, you know. So then, of course, happens the thing where Jonas tells him, "Don't commit suicide," and then Michael goes, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna commit suicide. I feel like I have to now." And it's like, you son of a... God damn it. Like, well, the thing is that he probably might have committed suicide even... Well, no. Actually, no. I don't think he would have. Because, like, here's the thing, is that as Mikkel, he would probably remember Michael Conwell committing suicide, because it's his friend's dad, right? But at the same time, it's like he said, like, it always started feeling like a dream, like something that never really happened. Like, I was just a little bit crazy or something like that. Because it's like, of course, like, Mikkel lived as Mikkel for like 10 years, and then he lived as Michael Conwell for 33. So, like, of course, he just became Michael Conwell. And after enough time, he was like, I'm just Mike and Conwell. Like, I was never Mikkel, or like he's not thinking about it, right? It's not that he's denying that he is Mikkel, it's that like he's just not thinking about it. Like, he has his own life, he has his own family, he has Jonas. Like, he's not thinking about his previous life, he's thinking about his life that is happening right now, because of course. So it stops being real to him until it starts getting all this like things that make him remember, and then finally Jonas comes in and he's like, I know everything, and then he's like, oh my god, like, that's when it hits him, and then he realizes he has to kill himself because Jonas told him to, and it's like, motherfucker, like, Jonas, every time you're trying, oh my god, like, okay, here's the thing, and people might hate me for saying this, because I've already said it like twice. It's like, wouldn't the solution would be immediately just to grab a gun and just fucking kill yourself, Jonas? Because, like, that's the thing. It's that, like, if you're... Claudia told him, you need to start a war against yourself. And it's like... Bitch, what? Like, against myself. Okay, I'm just gonna jump off a cliff and the problem would be solved. Right? Because if I don't do this, then I never did that other thing, which never made me do this one thing, which, like, yeah, like, so future Jonas apparently is gonna be the one that causes Mikkel to go through the caves, and if Mikkel goes through but the caves were built by Adam, so just kill yourself. Like, that's the thing. It's that, okay, and here's the thing. It's that the reason why he's not killing yourself seems to be, and I actually want to go back to this moment because I want to hear what the fuck Claudia says. Because Claudia says, I've seen the future without you, and it's not as good as you would think. Something like that. If I don't exist, I'm not born. Adam won't exist either. I've seen the world without you. Believe me, it's not what you're expecting. There are times in life when you must see that the decisions you make affect more than your own destiny. The fuck? Okay, Claudia's lying. Because here's the thing, is that if Claudia just said, I've seen the world without you, unless that means something completely different, like something vague and stupid, which is the way every character in the show communicates, but unless Claudia means something vague and completely different, then she is implying that she has seen multiple timelines. If Claudia has seen multiple timelines, multiple universes, that means that the way the rules of the universe in the show work don't work like that. Which means that you should kill yourself. Right? Right. Because so like it either confirms that you should do that, or Claudia's lying to you. And like, here's the thing, is that either the laws of the universe don't work the way the show is telling me they work, or Claudia's lying. And I would bet it on Claudia's lying, because everyone in the show is lying. And it already has been said in the past that Claudia lies. As Adam does. So... Dude, I would be honest. I'm gonna be honest with everyone right now. Okay? I'm gonna be honest with everyone. If I was in the situation that Jonas was in right now, I would just kill myself. Honestly. Well, maybe not, but from a selfish point of view, right? If I saw it from a selfish point of view, I would be like, well, living a fucked up life would be better than not living it off at all. So I'm just gonna deal with it. I'm just gonna make do with this. Everything's kind of fucked up, but it's better than nothing, you know? That would be my approach. Or my approach would be just like, I'm just gonna jump off a cliff. Like, that's it. I'm just gonna die. Because that's the thing, is that, like, like, I don't get in what rules we are operating. And I don't get in what rules anyone wants to do the things that they seem to be wanting to do. Do they want... Because, like... Why would you do anything unless you are trying for things to be the way they always have been? Okay? The only reason why you would do anything is to ensure that they would happen in the exact same way that they always have happened. That's the only reason you would do anything. Because otherwise, it's pointless. Because the rules of the universe tell you that they are pointless. But then a lot of characters are saying that they aren't, and that you can change things. But I haven't seen any proof of that yet, which makes me believe that they're all lying. They're all lying. And if Jonas wants this shit to stop... Like, okay, Jonas's character motivation seems to be... The only thing he wants is that for this shit to stop and for the people around it to be happy, right? Even though it comes kind of from like a selfish place, maybe, where Jonas is like, he also wants, like, he wants things to go back to normal. That's what he said. That's what he said multiple times, right? And we actually, and I mentioned this during the reaction a little bit, but I do like that we got to see things being normal, right? Because we've never seen that. This show has been fucked up since episode 1. And this episode actually gave me a glimpse of what things being normal is. This is what Jonas thinks about when he's thinking about things going back to normal. He's thinking about this episode. He's thinking about the good old days before shit went fucked. Shit went wacko, right? So, I do like that, in a sense, in a way, this episode has shown me what Jonas wants, right? But he can't get. Because he causes things to go wrong. But if it's causing things to go wrong, it's like, dude, like, immediately just kill yourself. Like, that would either fix everything or the universe would blow up. One of the two, coin flip at this point, but it's like, the alternative is doing things to ensure that the status quo remains. Even if you don't want it to happen, that's what's going to happen. Because the rules of the universe work like that. Like, everything this universe has shown you is that they work in the way that is unchangeable. You can't fight it. Which makes me wonder what the fuck the character motivations for Adam are. What are the character motivations for Claudia? What the fuck is anyone doing? Do they even understand what they are doing? Because they might not be, even though they look like they know. But it's like, oh my god, like, it feels like every episode I'm just getting more and more confused about what the fuck anyone is doing, or what the fuck anyone means. So, okay, I feel like there's two more things to talk about. The first thing is that Jonas finally asked Michael, he asked his dad, when he was Mikkel, I was gonna say all those years ago, but it's actually a couple months in the future. When Mikkel, a couple months in the future, goes back in time, what happened that night? What happened that night? That is the number one mystery of the show. Well, there's been a lot of mysteries. That is one of them. What happened that fateful night? And the answer is, you told me to go into the caves. Like, you showed me the way. And Jonas is like, what? And I'm like, yep. So, future Jonas is gonna have to cause Mikkel to go into the caves. I assume because Claudia tells him to. Or because of some other reason. But Jonas is gonna have to be the reason why Mikkel goes into the caves. This future version of Jonas. He has the same raincoat, he can just hide the thing, and he's just gonna disguise as himself. And he's just gonna show Mikkel the way into the caves. And he's gonna be like, it's fine, we're gonna be safe in the morning, and then he wakes up, and he's in 1986. And then, fuck, man. That is a fucked up thing to do to your friend. That is a fucked up thing to do to Mikkel. But it's like, okay, so we learned that Jonas has to be the one that does those things. which I assumed would mean that Jonas has to stay here in. He has to stay here in 2019 for a couple months until that happens, and then he might travel to somewhere else. We'll see. That might also not be the case, but we'll see. So that's what happens. The other thing we need to talk about is the thing right at the end. The thing right at the end. Where Adam is looking at the time travel machine, and he's looking at the coin and the cord, and he's sad and all. And then these two characters, these two random ass white people, elderly white people, walk in, and they go, "What the fuck? You could have told him. You could have told him what his task actually is in all of this. What journey you actually send him on." And here's the thing, is that well, first of all, I called that he was lying, so this is not even a surprise to me. But I saw those characters, and I didn't say it, but I was like, are these two characters that we know? And I was actually gonna, like, during the review, I was gonna, like, look at them and be like, okay, and try to throw names at them. And looking at their faces, it's pretty obvious who they are, which is why I assumed they just told me. Okay, so Adam says not much longer until the last cycle begins. And then the woman says, we all have to make sacrifices, Magnus. So, I'm pretty sure I could have just looked at them and, like, predict who they were, but I guess it was obvious enough that the show just decided to tell you right away, which makes a lot of sense, because that woman looks a lot like Francisca. I almost said Elizabeth, but it's not. It's Francisca. And it's gonna be really weird if she's not Francisca, by the way. Because, like, they actually didn't give me her name. They just gave me Magnus's name. So immediately I was like, Magnus and Martha, or Magnus and Francisca? And I'm looking at her face and I'm like, oh, Francisca. Okay, let's go. It has to be Francisca. So I assume that Magnus and Francisca survived the apocalypse somehow. I'm not sure how. They might have time travel to a different point in time when the shit blew up, and so they survived. And then they joined the cult in some way, shape, or form. We don't know what their journey is. But there was a journey, and they joined Jonas. They joined the Jonas cult. So they seem to be younger than Jonas is, because Jonas is, like, pushing 80 at this point, right? More than that, yeah, because pushing, like, 90. Like, Adam is pushing, like, 90. These characters seem to be, like, in their 50s. So let's say that they've been aged up, like, 33 years. Let's just throw a random number and say 33, because it's always 33 or 66. So these are Magnus and Francisca 33 years into the future from 2020. So they must have traveled somewhere and avoided the nukes. Well, nukes, but, like, the nuclear explosion, whatever, the God particle, the apocalypse. Somehow they ended up here in 1921, and they are part of the Sigmundus cult with Adam. That's it. Wow, okay. Like, that is a drop that just dropped on me right away at the end. With like nothing, just, like, completely unprompted, nothing to go on. It's just, all right. You're just gonna throw them in there, just like that, huh? Here's the thing. So we have the loser crew, right? Magnus, Francisca, they're here. Jonas, he's here. Adam, we know more about Jonas than everything else. Bartosz, which I assume, and like this is apparently something that wasn't confirmed. This is just something that a lot of people have assumed, and it's like a conspiracy theory between Dark fans, you know? At least that's what people have let me know from the comments, apparently. That Bartosz was the man that Noah killed in the first episode of this season. And I actually think that they're right, because like people have told me, like, look at that man. He looks a lot like Bartosz. And I'm like, yeah, he does. Like, someone told me, hey, look at that man. And I was like, that looks like Bartosz. And then you went, yeah, that looks like Bartosz. And I'm like, yep, it sure does. So the current theory is that was Bartosz. Martha. Martha's the 5th member of the Loser crew. Where is she? Here's the thing. Adam keeps holding on onto the coin and the cord or whatever. It seems to me that everything that Jonas is doing is for Martha. Like, fuck that character motivation of like, I want things to go back to normal. He cares about Martha, specifically. Okay? What happens to Martha? Is my question. Because we know what happens to Jonas. We know what happens to now Magnus and Franziska. We know what happens to Bartosz. Maybe. Where is Martha? What ends up happening to Martha? Does she die in the apocalypse? She might. But now that we see Magnus and Franziska, and we have the theory that Bartosz also lives, it's like, and Elizabeth also lived. So it's like, what happened to Martha? Like, she could have died in the apocalypse. Let's say that she just died in the apocalypse. That could be a thing. But like, what if something else happens to Martha that Adam knows about, and that's like his entire motivation for doing anything? That could be a thing. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know. But it could just be the fact that she just dies in the apocalypse. That could just be a thing. A lot of people die in the apocalypse, I've been told. So yeah. This episode was an odd one because it wasn't about the countdown to the apocalypse. This was a completely side thing, which I think I did say at the beginning. If we follow Jonas, then we're gonna follow this weird era that was like before the first season. And I guess we did that. So there you go. But yeah, aside from that, I don't know if there's anything else we can talk about. I guess Jonas is just hanging out with Claudia now. They caused Mikkel to commit suicide, which is fucked. And now Jonas is hanging out with Claudia. They're walking into the caves, and I don't know what they're going to be doing. But that's the thing, is that like everyone has been at some point in time a puppet of Claudia or Adam, or both, or have been Claudia or have been Adam, and have been puppets of themselves. This is stupid. Alright. I think we're done with this one. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this reaction to Dark. If you would like to see next one, it should be up already on Patreon as well as full length. Check out links in the description, check out gaming channel, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Take care.